Actually rang his son and attended work with him. Actually, they worked together, so it was strange that they hadn't heard from him in 2 days. She rang the police and asked them to do a welfare check, which they did, and when they showed up to the property, they ended up having to break down the door and they found the horrific murder scene. It was described as a complete bloodbath. Geoff lay on his bed deceased. There was evidence that Geoff had bravely tried to fight off his attacker before he passed away. With Daniel missing, officers had no idea whether Daniel was actually a suspect in this case or he had potentially also been attacked or murdered and had gone missing himself. One clue came from the fact that Geoff's car was missing, so they started thinking, could Daniel have fled in his dad's vehicle? Then Daniel got in contact with Zoe. He told her he'd been to A&E and he was quite jovial and jokey in his text. He'd apparently sustained a cut on his finger at work and he said he'd had to have stitches and described himself as a brave soldier. Police knew they needed to track him down. His story wasn't adding up. ANPR actually helped officers to track Daniel driving his dad's car as they suspected. He then had ditched the car in a car park in Cardiff. He frustratingly turned his phone off then, which made it really difficult to trace him. However, they scoured CCTV and did actually track him down at the Cardiff train station. Then he messaged Zoe. The message said, "I honestly don't know what's happening. My heart is broken, but also my mind. I have no idea what has happened this past week. It's like I've been asleep for a week and woken up in a nightmare. I'm so scared and confused. I honestly don't know what to do. All I want to do is hug you. I love you and the boys forever. Never forget that. You are not just my girlfriend, you're my best friend and I love you." Now Zoe actually replied, kind of comforting him and asking him where he was. Police desperately needed to get his location so they could go and arrest him. He replied 24 hours later stating, "I really want to see you too, but I can't. I'm so far away and can't remember how I got here. I have no money to get home, my wallet is gone and I'm all alone. I wish I was with you, I'm so sorry." He eventually told her he was in Glasgow when Zoe offered to pick him up. It transpired that on the day that he was murdered, Geoff had come back from work and got ready to go to bed. At around 10 p.m, he was attacked by Daniel as he was getting into bed. Daniel then casually went to pick up a Chinese takeaway, then made his way to A&E for the cut on his hand at around 2 a.m. The following day, he'd withdrawn £100 from his dad's bank account, gone and got a McDonald's, went to the bank to withdraw more money, and then went on the run. Chillingly, he was captured grinning on CCTV. He eventually pleaded guilty and showed absolutely zero emotion as he was sentenced to life. He hasn't revealed the reason he killed his dad and he was given a minimum of 20 years.